All right. Well, we'll go ahead and call this
This meeting is being recorded.
Call this meeting to order of the Ellettsville Town Council, Monday, August 10th, 2020. Mike Corman, are you here for a pledge? I don't think Mike's here. And he's got the flag. Let's just go to the prayer. Jimmy, can you lead us in prayer?
Our Heavenly Father, we take this time to pause just one more time to thank you for the many blessings you bestowed on this little town. We ask that you be with us tonight, lead and guide our thoughts and our conversations, and help us to improve this little town and continue to supply the services that the people need. Be with our town council members as they make those decisions. I say in Jesus' name, amen.
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 Thank you. All right, Sandy, roll call.
Dan Swafford.
Here.
Scott Oldham.
Here.
William Ellis.
Here.
Trevor Sager.
Here.
Pamela Samples.
Here.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes for the regular meeting, July 27, 2020. Is there a motion?
I'll second.
Who made the motion?
I did. William on the motion too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, any council comment? Any public comment? Sandy, roll call.
Dan Swafford.
Yes.
Scott Oldham.
Yes.
William Ellis.
Yes.
Trevor Sager.
Yes.
Pamela Samples.
Yes.
Motion carries. Dan, Mike's here.
Okay. Mike, do you want to lead us in the pledge? You sure he's here?
Yeah.
Yes, I will. Can you hear me?
Yes. Thank you, Mike.
All right, we'll do it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mike. All right, I'd entertain a motion for accounts payable, vouchers, and payroll. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any council comment? Any public comment? Seeing none, Sandy, roll call.
Dan Swafford.
Yes.
Scott Oldham.
Yes.
William Ellis.
Yes.
Trevor Sager.
Yes.
Pamela Samples.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, today's first resolution is 06-2020, waiver for Keehee filing for tax abatement after construction started.
Can I make a suggestion to the council that they take something out of order?
Sure.
The first three items are for Keehee and Scannell. And then we also have listed on the agenda under old business, the economic development agreement between the town, Scannell and Keehee. And I would suggest that the council move that item up to after resolutions. I believe Mr. Fledging is attending the meeting. He's from Scannell, and it just sort of makes sense to me to have all of the Keehee and Scannell items taken care of at one time. So,
Darla, real quick, I have not gotten the SB1 forms back for the tax abatement, and I was going to ask for at least those two resolutions to be tabled. I don't know that that would affect the waiver and the economic development agreement, though.
okay. Yeah, that's probably true. It won't, so that's fine.
Okay.
Okay. So in any event, the first resolution is 06-2020, and as Dan stated, it's the waiver for the filing of the petition to have an economic revitalization area declared. And I believe we discussed this at an earlier meeting, but if we did, it was probably back in March before COVID. But in any event, the Indiana code requires a property owner to request either an economic development area to be declared or an economic revitalization area to be declared prior to construction beginning. However, the Indiana code does allow the governing body, which is in this case the town council, to grant a waiver from that requirement under certain circumstances. And the circumstances proposed for the waiver of the noncompliance are contained in Resolution 06-2020, and it's the second paragraph from the bottom. The warehouse facility was a critical need in KeHE's supply chain, and it would have had a detrimental impact on KeHE's business to delay the project schedule to establish the economic revitalization area. And so, as you probably will recall, this is a project that will bring about 225 new jobs to the town with an average wage of $39,000. Scannell owns the property currently. KeHE's the one who's going to actually be managing the warehouse and running the business. Scannell applied for personal property tax abatement. Real property tax abatement. KeHE has applied for the personal property abatement. And so essentially what this resolution says is that the council recognizes that the scope of the project is such that non-compliance with the requirements would not have any sort of detrimental impact. The benefits conveyed to the town outweigh any issues or problems caused by the delay in Scannell seeking the designation of an economic revitalization area.
Okay, and Kevin, did you say you wanted the first two resolutions tabled?
The resolutions I was going to ask to be tabled are 7 and 8, which are the ones that actually grant the abatement.
Okay.
The waiver, I think, should be fine. That's all right.
All right, misunderstood. Okay, any council discussion or comment on this? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion on resolution 06-2020.
I would move that we approve this resolution. I'm not sure how it gets worded, to be honest with you, Darla.
Just a motion to approve resolution 06-2020 is fine.
06-2020, motion to approve 06-2020.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Pam seconded. Any other council comment? Any public comment?
I'd like to make a comment if I could.
Sure. State your name and go ahead and make your comment.
Absolutely. My name's Clark Greiner. I'm with the Bloomington Economic Development Corporation, and my role with them is I'm the business development director for the BEDC. And just on behalf of the BEDC, I would encourage approval of this. I think it's a very helpful thing that allows the community to do what they need to do in order to make this tax abatement go through and support the business community as well as the citizens of Ellettsville. So I would strongly encourage you supporting this. Thank you.
Thank you, Clark. Is there any other comment? If anyone from the public wishes to comment, they can hit the raise your hand feature or just raise your hand personally. I'm trying to scan through the pictures. So seeing no further comments, Sandy, roll call.
Dan Swafford,
Yes.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Pamela Samples.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right. So on resolution 07 and 08-2020, Kevin, you're wishing to table these resolutions?
Yes. That is correct. And the reason being is we're supposed to have an SB1 form that goes with each resolution. I have not got back the signed copy of that, and that sets their numbers basically in stone and ties them to the abatement. I think we should have those before we go forward.
Okay, I agree. Darla, do you want me to break these separate, or can we make the motion?
I think you can do one joint motion to table those until the next meeting, which is, I don't have a calendar in front of me, but if you announce the meeting date, then we don't have to republish.
The 24th of August.
So there can be one motion to table both 07-2020 and 08-2020 to the 27th day of August.
24th.
Sorry, the 24th day of August, the next town council meeting, 6:30.
Okay, I'll move that we table resolution 07-2020 and resolution 08-2020 to the next town council meeting on August 27th, 2020. Is there a second?
I'll second that, Dan.
Okay, any council comment or discussion?
Note of correction, it's the 24th, Dan. I think you said the 27th, I'm sorry.
Okay, 24th. I was just wrote it down wrong, sorry. Any public comment? Seeing none, Sandy, roll call?
Dan Swafford,
Yes.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Pamela Samples,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay,
So-
Darla.
Then
Do you
if you could move the economic development agreement up, since Mr. Fledging's attending the meeting, and if you could consider that next, I would appreciate it.
Sure. Okay, we will jump down to old business, the economic development agreement between Chanel Properties number 399 and KE Distributors LLC and the town of Ellettsville.
This is an economic development agreement that I think the town council saw in an earlier draft, again, back in March. And essentially what this says is that KE and Scannell both are committed to supplying economic development payments to the town in the amount of $350,000, which will be spread across 5 payments. The first payment will be due on September 1st, 2020. The last payment will be due on September 1st, 2024 in the amount of $50,000. The 3 payments in the middle are each in the amount of $75,000 and are also due on September 1st of each year. So the purpose of the economic development payments is to provide additional funds to the town of Ellettsville for public safety, specifically for the payment of firefighting personnel or other operating expenses related to firefighting services provided by the town. In other words, I think it's to help fund another firefighter, given the scope of the project and the fact that we may need another firefighter to cover that area or some assistance to cover that area. And Mr. Kornman maybe, or Chief Kornman may want to speak to that, but.
Mr. Kornman, would you like to comment?
Yes, thank you very much. The use of this money would go towards to assure that we have 5 firefighters on duty 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Right now, we can only guarantee 5 about 55 to 60% of the time. And this will take care of that need along with the additional part-time personnel for the fire department to have us adequate coverage for the amount of money that we have.
Thank you, Mike. Any council discussion on this? Seeing none. Darla, did you say someone else was wanting to speak with the?
I don't know if he wants to speak or not, but Mr. Fledging from Scannell was attending. I thought I saw his name. There he is.
Hey, good afternoon. Mark Flagging, General Counsel at Scannell. I did not have anything in particular to speak about, so I'm willing to just move forward with the vote on the development agreement, and then I'll make sure I follow up with both Cahey and Scannell to get the SP1 forms to you, Kevin, so that we can have that buttoned up well in advance of the 24th.
Thank you. All right. I'd entertain a motion then.
Dan,
Yes.
we advertise this, I think, as part of the public hearing requirement. So you should probably see if anyone from the public has any comments.
Okay. I was going to do that after a motion. Is that
Okay,
all right?
sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
That's all right. Is there a motion?
I would move that we approve this agreement between ourselves and the corporation.
I'll second.
All right. Any council comment, questions? Any public comment? Seeing none, Sandy, roll call, please.
Dan Swafford,
Yes.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Pamela Samples,
Yes.
motion carries.
All right. Thank you. And we appreciate that.
Thanks for
All right.
taking it out of order. I appreciate it.
No problem. Clark, would you like to speak?
Yes, I was just going to speak out in support of that. I went to push my hand raise button. For some reason, it didn't work. But again, my name's Clark Griner. I'm the Business Development Director for Bloomington Economic Development Corporation. And I just wanted to say, I think it's a great thing that this is taking place in the town of Ellettsville. And again, I think it shows a great cooperation between the business as well as the community itself. And I do support kind of a collaborative sort of effort to make this thing work and happen. So, and I think anytime you're dealing with safety, it's a vital thing to be prepared for those unforeseen, unfortunate events that happen. And so I think the development agreement would be a wonderful thing. So we do support that.
Thank you, Clark. And I'm sorry if I didn't see your hand raised at the first.
I think that was on me. So thank you for recognizing me.
Okay. All right. Let's bounce back up to resolutions then. Resolution 17-2020, authorizing the town manager to execute documents on the behalf of town of Ellettsville at loan closing. Like I said, I apologize. My printer is almost out of ink, so it's hard reading this. Who is this, Darla?
Yes. As the council is aware, the town is in the process of obtaining a loan from the People's State Bank in the amount of $190,000 to purchase 104 West Vine. And we have a tentative closing scheduled for September 2nd, assuming the council approves the remainder of the ordinances and resolutions tonight. And the purpose of this resolution is just to allow Mike Farmer to sign the pertinent loan documents. And I believe that Mr. Farmer signed all the loan documents with regard to 105. The council was fine when the town purchased that over a year ago. So this resolution is almost exactly the same as the one the council would have passed a year and a half ago to allow Mr. Farmer to sign the loan documents.
Thank you. Any council discussion on this? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve 17-2020. I'll second.
Okay. Any council comment? Any public comment? Give it a few extra seconds there. Sandy, roll call.
Dan Swafford,
Yes.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Pamela Samples,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay, resolution 18-2020, declaration of official intent to finance a property purchase. I'm sure this is attached to the previous resolution, but Darla, go ahead.
Under the Indiana Code, When a municipality borrows money, it has to give notice to the public of its intent to do so, and also has to give the public information about the debt itself, the interest rate, when the payments are going to be made, and things of that nature. And so we published notice in the paper about this proposed borrowing. The total amount to be financed is $210,000, $210,726.90. And Mr. Lindsay from the bank sent us an updated schedule for the loan payments last Thursday or Friday. So that's why you got the new documents on Saturday. So the ordinance and the resolution now correctly reflect the amount to be borrowed.
Okay. Any council discussion?
Or actually, I think I may have said that incorrectly. I'm sorry. The total amount to be financed is $190,400. The total cost of the loan is going to be $210,726.90. It's a 5-year loan, and it's going to be paid in semi-annual payments in the amount of $10,918.90. The payments are going to be due on February 28th and August 1st of each year. The final payment, payment 10, is going to be a balloon payment in the amount of $112,456.80.
Thank you. And Sandy, which fund is this? This just coming out of the general fund?
No, this comes out of stormwater.
Thank you. And stormwater has the funds in here to complete all these purchases or the payment schedule?
Yes. When we get to the balloon, we'll probably need to refinance.
Okay. Go ahead.
My understanding, we can only do 5-year limit.
Yes, we checked with the State Board of Accounts on that, and they told us that the position they would take at audit is that the loan can only be held for 5 years.
Any council discussion? Seeing none, I entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 18-2020.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any council comments? Any public comment? Seeing none, Sandy, roll call.
Dan Swafford,
Yes.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Pamela Samples.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, no ordinances on first reading, ordinances on second reading. Ordinance 2020-21 to amend Chapter 73 of Ellettsville Town Code, adding all-way stops at the intersection of Colt Drive and Sycamore Drive and Abigail Lane and Nicholas Lane. Who was taking care of Danny? Is this you?
Yeah, I guess you all got the letter from Kip. He sent a letter. Well, Kip and I actually don't recommend it, but with the manual of uniform traffic control, it doesn't really meet the criteria. And our main concern is if you're coming from Reeves towards Colts Drive, the berm of that hill is only like 270 feet. And we think like during school hours, parents are bringing their kids and the school buses ain't, we're going to have a backup and somebody's going to pop over the berm of that hill and have a traffic accident is our main concern. But you know, we're just letting you know what the code says, and it's not saying no, it's just not recommended. And we had one other thing there for if you want a safety for crosswalks for the kids. We looked up we done a price on a flashing beacon that's a push button. And for the two, one for each road, it's $6,560. So that would be another option from having the four-way stop there.
Okay, yeah, I seen the signs, and you know, I feel confident that that would accomplish what they're wanting that to do there. What do you feel, Danny? Do you feel that that would be adequate enough? Is that the reason they're asking for the four-way stop?
That's my understanding. Can you hear me?
Yes.
That was my understanding. At first, they said there was traffic accidents, and then we done a report, and there's not been a reported accident there in the last 5 years. So we checked that out. So then it said it was for the safety of the kids walking. I kind of believe if you had a flashing light, it would be safer than a four-way stop. If you had something telling people that they were crossing, I think the sign will not be observed during the day, maybe during school hours when everybody's stopping, starting, but it's a long street out there, and I believe, you know, it'll be ignored is one of the things. But our main concern, really, our only main concern is somebody popping over that hill. And, you know, we've had that intersection there several years and not had any incidents is what we're going at. And another thing we're kind of taught is not to oversign. You know, that's what the municipal code tells you not to do. You don't want to oversign. But you know, we're just giving you a couple options and telling you how we feel. It's totally up to the council.
Okay. And what about Nicholas Lane, or Abigail and Nicholas?
Well, Kip also sent all the council members pictures and the distances for stopping, and there's plenty of view distance. I don't know. I think this hasn't been a through street. The street's been for several years, but it hasn't been a through street until just a month or so ago. I believe Scott asked last week if we'd done a traffic count, and we have, and it was 202 cars per day on average at that intersection when it was, you know, there was Nicholas Cross houses both directions on that road, and then Abigail coming in. But I don't know. We haven't done a traffic count since the new street's been put in. It's only been in like a month, so I wouldn't really know on that. But as far as view, Kip set the traffic cones out, done measurements, and that's where we're at there. We don't have a whole lot of subdivisions with four-way stops in them. We kind of feel they're wanting it for speed control. And in our book of codes, that's a no-no. Put stop signs to control speed. So that's that.
Okay. Any council discussion on this?
Yeah, I've got something, Dan. Danny, tell Kip thanks for the email. I appreciate that. It was very detailed. The pictures and everything looked good in it. Look, Danny and Kip have both been trained and have been to school on this kind of stuff. If they're both advising no stop signs, I'm tending to go that way and leave the stop signs down. I do like the idea of the flashing light. That'd be something to explore in the future. But as of now, I'm no on the stop signs.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I do. I tend to agree with everyone so far. I'm a little more torn on the one on Sycamore. I can see more of a reason for that. The one on Abigail, the traffic count just simply doesn't justify it. You're talking about one car every 6 minutes on average. And the fear, you know, sometimes the four-way stop sounds good, but a lot of times we've seen those go in and we start having personal injury accidents because of that four-way stop, as opposed to leaving it how it was that people were already adapted to. So I don't want to have a secondary or a tertiary problem that we create on our own. I think I could go for the stop sign on Sycamore, but not the one on Abigail.
Okay. Scott, what about the flashing sign? Did you see a picture of that?
I did, and those are a lot less expensive than the ones that we had seen before put out, to the factor of about 5-fold less. I think any warning is a good warning. I mean, just flat out, as long as people will adhere to it, it at least gives somebody the idea that there's a problem ahead that they should pay attention to.
And my only concern is where do we get the funds to purchase this? William, go ahead. You have something?
Well, actually, it may speak to that. Have we reached out to the school corporation yet to see if there's something we can partner with?
No, but I think that's a great idea. I really think that
I can't take credit for it. Somebody, may have been Kip, may have been Danny, or somebody had said that in the email. So
right.
I'm not going to be a typical politician and take credit for someone else's idea. But I just think that would probably be the way we should go with that.
I agree with you 100%. I think maybe we need to reach out to the school and see if they want to either, purchase these or go in partnership with us and purchase the lights if it is the pedestrians they're worried about, which I'm sure it is. The signs that I've seen, and I wish I could bring it up, but I kind of messed up my email and I can't do it. So I can't show everyone out there what it looks like, but I'm sure Kip or Danny can show the school people the pictures of the signs and see if they're interested. And I'm with Scott and Trevor on the Abigail one. I went there myself and I really didn't feel the need for one either. So I definitely stand by Kip and Danny on that one. So Pam, do you have anything you want to add?
No.
Okay. So how do you guys want to proceed on this? Do we want to go ahead and vote on the ordinance? Do we want to split the ordinance up and make it amendments, or you want to table it so we can talk to the school?
I would suggest we table the one with the school, but the other one I think we can vote on.
Well, I think they're combined in one ordinance is the only thing. Darla, would we have to amend these, or how can we do that?
How about if we do someone does a motion to withdraw ordinance 2020-21, just so Sandy has a record of what happened to that, and then I'll redraft an ordinance later for Colt and Sycamore if something is worked out with the school.
Okay, that sounds good.
Is the ordinance specifically for a stop sign, though?
I'm sorry, William, say that again.
Isn't this ordinance specifically for a stop sign?
Four-way.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, I'm prepared to vote on that aspect of it.
Yeah, I'm ready too if you guys are.
Yeah, because we can just come back with another ordinance or whatever we need.
Yeah, because we're thinking something different.
Right.
Go in a different direction.
It makes it cleaner. It pulls this one off completely if we need to, or it approves it completely.
If that's okay with Darla.
That's fine. Just so long as we have a record as to what happened to this particular ordinance.
Okay. So does the council want to just go ahead and vote on the ordinance then the way it stands, and then we can come back with another ordinance later?
Yes.
Okay. Does anyone want to make the motion on ordinance 2021 or 21-2020?
I'll make a motion on ordinance. Actually, no, I don't. Never mind. Retract that.
Darla, was it cleaner for you? I mean, I think, and again, I don't want to speak for the rest of the council, if we let it die without a motion, or would you prefer to see it come up for a vote and then voted on from there?
I would prefer that it come up with a vote.
Motion to approve said ordinance, please.
Okay, in that case, I'll second.
Okay. Okay, wait a minute.
Sorry, I lost my place, so I don't know what the number is.
Well, if he moved approval, then I guess we can just vote no, and he can vote no if we.
Right.
Okay.
Is that all right, Darla?
If there's a motion to approve, there needs to be a second, and then there needs to be a vote on it. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And Scott's motion.
Okay. So there's a motion and a second now. Any council comment? Any public comment on this? Not sure what that was, but I guess there's no comments. Sandy, roll call, please.
Dan Swafford,
No.
Scott Oldham,
No.
William Ellis,
No.
Trevor Sager,
No.
Pamela Samples.
No.
Motion fails.
Okay, moving along to ordinance 2020-22 to utilize stormwater fees for purchase of real property for flooding remediation projects.
Okay, this is the last piece, hopefully, of the loan for 104 West Vine, and this is the actual resolution, or I'm sorry, the ordinance that states that the stormwater fees will be paid or will be used to pay back the loan from People's State Bank for the $190,400 that's being financed. And again, the total cost of the loan is going to be $210,726.90. And actually, the resolution that you passed earlier does state that the town is giving the bank a lien or, a lien against the stormwater fee revenue in order to pay back that loan. The bank is not taking a security interest in the property itself.
Okay, any further discussion on this? Seeing none, I'd move approval.
You made the motion, Dan?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and make the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any council comments? Any public comment? Seeing none, Sandy, roll call.
Dan Swafford,
Yes.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Pamela Samples.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, now down to old business, mass gathering permit, alternative care solutions. Mike, have you got information on this?
Mike Farmer or Mike Corman?
Mike Farmer.
Well, I think the owner was supposed to be at the meeting tonight, and she was going to present exactly why she wants to rent the shelter house and answer questions about what we perceive as possible a mass gathering. So I'm not sure if she's here or not.
Yeah, we're here. Hi.
Hi, Tiffany.
Hello. This is Laura. Hi.
Hi, Laura. I just looked at the name, sorry. You guys want to discuss what you're trying to do here?
So basically, we were hoping to do a community unity event. It is not for profit. It is free to the community. We have a few places that are actually going to donate, like pizza. We have Carson's Barbecue that's going to donate to the public. So it is for everybody. The reason we thought it would be best to do the whole park is so that we could provide for everyone in social distance. We are a non-medical home health company. So we will be social distancing, providing masks for everyone and hand sanitizer. It's just a friendly community event for the community, for everyone. So I was under the impression that we had it. I didn't know that we had to have a meeting. So when I dropped off all the information and the check, I guess I assumed that we had it. So I just was planning for it. So
how many people are you expecting?
We don't know because it's a community. I'm pretty sure that there won't be that many. I mean, we've had events in the past where we've had, 20, 30 people show. Or more. Maybe a little more, but this is a lot bigger than those parties. I talked with the girl that had the dance competition the other day there at Ellettsville, and talked a little bit about the social distancing and stuff. And she did say that there was 150 there that, you know, they were able to social distance and do their mask and their hand sanitizer. So I think if we did eliminate 150, that would be, I mean, if you guys are okay with it, that would be wonderful. Not that we're going to have 150, but it could be possible because it is non-for-profit and everything is basically free.
Okay.
During, pretty much.
I'm sorry, we're losing you. Can you hear us?
Sir.
Are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can now. Your picture's locked though. Are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay. Does the council have any questions? Scott, I think you made some points last time that you had some questions.
Well, not so much questions or comments. So when you're ready for those, I'll make those comments, but I don't have any questions concerning this because I don't.
Okay.
I'd kind of like to say something.
Sure. Who is this?
This is Dan.
Okay, go ahead, Dan.
No, the mass gathering we had this weekend kind of became a problem for us. I had to call, you know, we had to call a guy in to open it and a guy in to close it. That's 2 call outs. Then we had to come and put toilet paper in the bathrooms twice. We had a stool break once. So the town has got a lot of money in the last event that we've done. And trash was a big problem. The trash barrels filled up numerous times, but they did pick it up and bring it down here and put it in the dumpster for us. But we almost need someone to, you know, that's going to do that, to take care of such things as that instead of having so many call outs for our guys. I mean, we've got a lot of time in call outs over the weekend from the mass gathering we just had.
In other words, the rental cost doesn't cover the expense of the event.
Right. If you don't mind if I say, the park will be exactly as it was when we started. We will take all the trash. We will clean up everything. If there's any type of damage, Tiffany is insured, which we're not hoping. We don't want that, but you know, accidents happen. But we're not planning on any of that. But I've been going to that park for 15 years. All of my children and her children. It's home to us, so we will make sure that it is all cleaned up and taken care of.
Okay, William, do you have something to add?
Yeah, I think I was just going to ask with, in regards, do they have plans that if we do have a situation where there's call outs, do they have a way to pay for those in addition? But also, how much has already been spent on this already? What have you already done?
Are you talking about for what I paid for so far?
Yes, I know you paid for the permits, but what other things have you paid for? You mentioned Carson's Barbecue. You mentioned what else?
So that's Carson's Barbecue. That is a donation. So Carson's Barbecue is donating 100 hamburgers, 100 hot dogs. Texas Roadhouse is doing their rolls, which we're probably going to add the salad to that, which we will pay for the whole community. Drinks, water, prizes for the children when we do the games. We have quite a few games we plan on doing. So we're going to do I actually have a list of games and prizes. So we'll pay for that. I'm planning on at least 150 gifts. They're just going to be dollar gifts for the winners. And then the bounce house. The question I have is we do have a bounce house that we reserved for 200 I believe the total is 500 and something more once we pay for that, but it has a slide on it. And I really wanted the slide because children can go down individually, and we can still social distance and wear their masks and disinfect because it's not a pool, it's a slide. And then as far as music, I mean, we're just going to have a little speaker. We're not going to have loud music.
Now, do you have an agenda like with speakers or anything like that? Or is it just community gathering, people milling around?
It's just like more of a community family gathering, like a cookout kind of. We're not going to have a band or anything. It's just it's a speaker that you hook up to like YouTube and you can play music that way. It's just going to be simple. It's just a gathering.
No, I meant as in you don't have like an agenda with people coming to speak about anything or anything.
No,
I mean, it's just,
no, sir.
Okay.
No. Just we're non-medical, so we have a lot of workers in the area. Hopefully they'll all come.
As far as the weekend calls, I'm sorry, I just wanted to address that real quick. We spoke to somebody who says they go down and they open the bathrooms. If, toilet paper runs out, we can bring toilet paper. We don't have to call people to bring toilet paper, things like that. If there are costs that are, that come with that, I'm more than willing to pay whatever those costs are if you have to come down on the weekend and do anything to assist our event.
Well, the only concern I have is something that I probably have to ask Darla on. What is the number for the attendance, or how many with the orders right now for mass gatherings? How many people limited to, Darla? Can you answer that?
The Monroe County Health Department has limited gatherings for commercial gatherings to 150 people if it's outside. So if they at all anticipate that there may be more than 150 people, they should go get an exemption from the county, because if more than 150 people show up, they'll be in violation of the county's public health order.
Will be, and we can always. I really don't think that there will be that many.
Especially not at once, because it's on for quite a few hours.
It's actually from 11 to 7. That's how long the event is. The bounce house comes at 9, but I have to decorate, so nobody's going to show up until 11, and it ends at 7.
I don't think 150 people are going to be there.
No, I don't think so. We really don't know. I don't think there will be.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of concerned like Darla. I mean, if you guys think it might happen, it would probably be best to get an exemption than to go over. I don't know, Darla, what would happen if they do have more than that? I mean,
could we just not allow them in? Could we just make sure we
have both sides of the park? I mean,
no, we do. We would have both sides.
Right.
But if we have, I mean, we're going to keep a good count. So because we'll be doing the social distancing, I'm really big on wearing masks and hand sanitizing. So I'll be watching out for things like that. If there are more than 150, can we just, like, some people exit and then more come to leave it at the total of 150?
That's probably a question that would be better directed to the health officer of Monroe County, because their health order says that violations are subject to monetary penalties under chapters 305 and 115 of the Monroe County Code. And in all honesty, I don't have that section of the code in front of me, so I don't know what the monetary penalty is. I don't know that they would fine you and give you one. It might be a warning. The honest answer is I don't know what the county would do. And in particular, if they get the idea that, it wasn't on purpose, that you weren't flagrantly violating the rules, my guess, subject to being wrong, is that they would just give you a warning. But I would suggest that you call the health department at 812-349-2543 and ask them.
Let me get that number from you one more time.
812-349-2543.
Just call us so you have it. Okay, and so we will call them and we'll speak to them, and then do we need to come back to another one of these meetings, or is this going to be discussed here now, whether it's going to be approved or not by you guys? How does that work?
I think that depends on what the council's pleasure is.
When is the event again?
It's the 29th. I still have to purchase like tablecloths, pineapples, things like that. It's the 29th. I'm running short on time.
Okay. All right. What's the council's pleasure on this? How do you want to entertain a motion, or do you have more discussions?
Well, I'll just tell you my concerns up front. The only time that we ever let the entire park out is for Fall Festival. And that requires a written safety plan and a written security plan, which this doesn't have. Whether this intends to reach the capabilities of mass gathering or not, I don't know, because she doesn't know. Part of the issue you have is you have baseball down there those days as well. So that's going to add to your numbers, whether you knowingly know that or not. They're going to be there. And the only way you can remove somebody from the area is one of the shelter houses. If they decide they're going to plop down the grass, you don't have the ability to remove them. I'll be honest with you. I think your numbers are going to be well in excess of what you think they're going to be. You're all over the map because you really don't know, and that's not your fault. That's just the way it is. We simply do not have the security resources to deal with something that grows this big without calling in extra people on a regular day. It's just not there. Same, we don't have the fire rescue without extra people on duty for the same amount of time. We could go down the whole road with COVID, but I think the health department's got this. This just to me smacks of something that's going to be much, much bigger and become a problem both for parking, for security, and for whatever needs, even if they're just heat related, that we simply can't handle without a bigger plan than what is on the table here. So if it's left to me, unfortunately, I'm going to have to vote no. I think it's a great idea, but I think it needs to be fleshed out a little bit more before we go into approving this kind of thing.
So if we were to do just one side, would that be
all about numbers, ma'am? And just the ability to control those numbers are not there, and you're going to add baseball on top of it. You just simply don't have the means to do it. When it is Fall Festival, we start closing roads for pedestrian safety. There's extra officers on duty for security. There's extra fire personnel and EMS personnel on duty to take care of that larger crowd. The city of Bloomington can absorb this, no problem, and move on because there's enough folks there. Ellettsville, unfortunately, just doesn't have the staffing to meet that requirement. And I'm not about to put your folks in danger unknowingly by us saying, yeah, go ahead, everything will be okay. It just simply may not be okay. So if we're going to have something to this scale, then we need a larger plan that's more laid out, that everybody knows what's going on. Don't be wrong. I applaud you for wanting to do this for the community. It's a great idea. Unfortunately, we just can't handle it, particularly now. That's my opinion. Other council members may have different opinions.
Okay. We'll see what that say. So we still need to call the health department just tomorrow. Figure it out.
Okay. I mean, does the council want to go ahead and vote on this, or do we want to table it?
Well, Dan,
I
have a question before I make a motion to table it. If we approve this or make a decision by the 24th, are you guys still going to be able to execute this, or are we past the point of no return at that juncture? Because I think what Scott's saying is we need a plan for street control. We need a plan, a little, as an example, there's a store I own in Richland Plaza. We had a yard sale. I submitted the plans where the tables would be, flow of people that were going to be coming into the back. It seemed minor because we're only going to have 30 or 40 people, and we didn't even have that many. But this way, the fire department and first responders were clear on what our plans were for flow of traffic, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not trying to paraphrase what Scott says, but in a way, I think that's what Scott's kind of thinking of, but not just have it on paper. We had mechanisms where we could enforce that. I'm not sure, other than hiring security, how you'd be able to enforce any plan, especially on public streets. Scott or Trevor could probably answer more to that.
Well, we can hire security if that's what you're.
If that's a concern, that
if it is a concern, we are willing to do whatever we need to do to have a small community event.
Ma'am, again, you're not even going to have the room to park that amount of people, so you're going to have to show us where the parking is going to be. I mean, because again, put baseball down there. We had this. We had this event last weekend, which, quite frankly, I totally disagree with how it was characterized. There was too many people down there, too close. It wasn't the event that I would have hoped, but it is what it is. Even the parking alone was a nightmare down there. And now we're talking about something where you have a community event, which again is great, but we don't know how many of the community is going to turn out and where they're going to want to park. You know, again, go back to Fall Festival. There's a parking plan for everything at the Fall Festival. Right. And I'm sure they're more than happy to share that with you if you want to plan on a date later in the year. It's just a question of right now, there's not enough underlying foundation for me to say, yeah, this is a good idea, go for it.
So you're suggesting that we have a plan for parking, possibly security, and go ahead and talk with the health department about the number of people, right? I mean, I guess I could try and plan it for a later date. Maybe October. Well, October is the Fall Festival, right? So.
Fall Festival canceled due to COVID. There will not be a Fall Festival.
Okay, so maybe I can just do it in late September, maybe middle October, and maybe plan it a little differently. Talk with the health department, see if I can get a plan in action for the parking, and hire security.
I mean, if I was going to talk to the folks who plans the Fall Festival, it's all mapped there for you. If they're willing to share, I mean, they've got a pretty good run program for this area.
That's a great idea. That's a wonderful idea.
I think Sandy could probably help you with a lot of this. I hate to volunteer you, Sandy, but she's been with the Fall.
Hi, Sandy.
she has been associated with the Fall Festival for many years. So,
yes.
She could probably talk you through the process that you need to do in order to get all your bases covered.
That would be wonderful.
And I think William asked a question if, you know, and I just don't think you have enough time either. He said, you know, if we made a decision by next meeting, I think that's just too late for you. So
it is. It'll run me ragged in between my jobs. So with the marketing and recruiting that I do, and to have to try and put this together, it's going to be. I think that October sounds wonderful. Sandy, if you're willing to work with me on that, I would love to have your help.
I was going to suggest that if Sandy has handy a copy of a plan that somebody has already submitted for either a minor mass gathering or a major mass gathering, that she could give to Ms. Norris, just so she could see what a plan looks like. So she has an idea of what
that would be wonderful. Thank you.
The council's talking about.
Okay.
Whether
Sounds
it's
wonderful.
You know, the fall festivals or whoever's, just some plan that somebody's submitted that is past muster with the town council. So
I really do like the idea that to change it to October. I
think it'll be easier.
Just because we've had events, but we've never had like a large community event. It's more employment clients that type of event. This is more like a barbecue. So, but with everything going on, I think it's a wonderful idea to maybe look at that in October.
Is it? Yeah.
So it'll be well planned.
And maybe by October too, the numbers could be up from 50, so that could help you too.
It's hair in the yard.
Is someone else trying to speak, or they just got a mic? No. Okay. Sandy, do you have any problem with furnishing her copies of that?
I can give her some information. I mean, the Fall Festival is a pretty big event. We have to have a Homeland Security permit, and we have to have evacuation plans, and so it's pretty complex. Well, so, but I will help. I can definitely give you a copy of a plan.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. What's that plan? You know, something maybe smaller scale.
William, do you have something to add?
I'll let them know in spirit I do support this. So I just kind of want to let you know where my head's at. I want something though that you have to plan for the unexpected and just assume it's going to happen. And I think that's what we really need to see. And I would also reach out to Mike Corman, the fire chief, and Jimmy Journal, the police chief, and find out from them kind of what they're looking for to be able from you two also, because we need to get them on board too.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
I'll go down and talk with them. I'll go down to the police department and the fire department and talk with them. But I think you guys are right. I think October would be a wonderful idea. It gives me more time to plan and pull everything together.
Sure. All right. So then you definitely are just going to postpone it to a later date and get back with us.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Does any of the council or anyone have any further discussion on this? All right. Well, we thank you for coming to us, and hopefully your event goes great. And, you know, I think the people really need something right now to get out and blow off a little steam. So I really wish you the best in planning this. So.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right. Moving back down to old business, building inspector. Is this Mike or Kevin?
I got this one.
Okay.
Not that I want this to be a recurring item on the agenda, but one of our recent building inspector hires is, for personal reasons, going to have to take a large amount of time off, and we have found another part-time inspector who is willing to do it. And the bonus with this new hire, his name is Sam Ferguson. He is also very experienced in commercial building inspections, so that would take care of that part of the equation for us as well.
All right. Yeah, I didn't mean to jinx you the other day when I said you guys are really building your department there, but hopefully this is work out for the better for you guys. And it sounds like he has a lot of experience and can bring a lot to the table for us. And how are the hours going to work? Is that still the hours will be divided between the two of them? Kevin? Did we lose him? I'm looking.
Dan, if you lost him, if you have questions, I can answer them as well.
Okay. I see him still here, but he may have lost us. Did you hear what I asked, Mike?
Right now.
Dan, I did hear that question. And in the budget is plenty of money to be able to pay for the hours needed to do the building inspections and carry out stormwater inspections as well. And we kind of went over it 2 or 3 times, and we think we have plenty of money for allowing even more than one person to work at a time, so we can do a little cross training and partnering, so everybody's on the same page. So I don't think that's a problem at all.
Great. It sounds wonderful. And I will just warn Scott, if I do drop here, the lights are flickering on me. I'll lose my internet. So
yeah, me too. I was just say the same thing.
You may have to take over if I drop here. Does anyone else have any discussion on building inspector?
I guess a suggestion, if we just give the town manager permission to hire SEC's fit for this, rather than having come back every 2 weeks, because I know that kind of puts some people that may be interested in a bind as far as, do I get a job for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it is before we do it. I mean, it's a part-time position, not to denigrate it at all, but I also don't think it's the biggest decision this council is going to make this year. So let's just give them some flexibility.
Sure. And I agree with you. I'm only concerned, Darla, if we can, is this something written in that we have to approve new hires, or can we go ahead and give Mike the right? Or
well,
Kevin?
the town code says that the council hires and fires, but I don't see any problem with you delegating it to the town manager in this circumstance. And then once he, I mean, that's within your purview to do that, I think. And then once he hires somebody, he could ask the council later to ratify that decision. So that way it gets done. And
I can hear that thunder rolling on all you guys. Yeah, I have no problem with that. The only thing that I would ask Mike, though, if we do grant you this, is to, please give us all a heads up that, something's coming down the pike. If it's a full-time employee or something like that. But as far as part-time, I agree with Scott 100%.
And Dan, I would never offer or even attempt to hire anybody full-time with benefits without it being approved by the board. So yeah, I agree with you. And it's one of the reasons I give you all a heads up by text, so you'd know some of the personnel matters we was going to talk about tonight. So absolutely, a full-time position, I believe, should always be run by the board first.
Sure. Okay. Any further council discussion on this? Seeing none, I entertain a motion.
I would move that we delegate to the town manager the ability to hire a part-time person to fill this role as he sees fit.
I will second that. Any council comment, questions? Any public comment? Seeing none, Sandy, roll call.
Ann Swafford?
Yes.
Scott Oldham?
Yes.
William Ellis?
Yes.
Trevor Sager?
Yes.
Pamela Samples?
Yes.
Motion carries. I have a question.
Sure.
Should we go ahead and vote on the one presented, since he is presented at this meeting?
Yeah, because I think Scott's motion was just on that position. So,
right.
So are you talking about the next thing on the agenda, Sandy?
No, Mr. Ferguson, he's the candidate for hire. Since we have his name, should we go ahead and vote on it tonight?
Didn't just let Mike do it, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Well, Darla, I mean, you said it should still be ratified by council, wouldn't it be easier just to do it now since it's on the agenda?
yeah, I would suggest that you go ahead and vote on that particular person tonight, since Kevin's raised that issue. And then if something occurs in the future, Mike and Kevin can work it out.
Okay. Scott, you want to amend your motion?
Yes, I admit that we go ahead and hire the...
No, don't amend it. Just do a new motion to hire the individual.
Right. I would move that we hire the individual as listed as far as this position this evening, so that we're all clear with him having permission in the future.
And that name is Stan Ferguson.
For Stan Ferguson.
And then Mike, go ahead.
Well, I didn't hear real well, but it's Sam, S-A-M.
Oh, thank you.
Sam, okay.
So as noted.
Okay, any council comment on the motion? Questions? Any public comment? Sandy, roll call.
If there was a second, I missed it.
I can't remember who seconded it. Was it Trevor?
I thought it was William.
Well,
Thank you. Dan Swafford,
yes.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Pamela Samples.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, flood report. Anything new to add to the flood report? I don't think there is. Under new business, fire department request to hire 3 part-time fire personnel. Mike Corman.
Thank you, Dan. In your responsibilities as a town council, you serve as a public safety board. Indiana law says that all paid firefighters and police officers, full-time or part-time, have to be approved by you. So I have 3 names to bring to you. We have a need in the fire department because of several other part-time firefighters over the past 3 months for various reasons have scaled back some of their hours. This is money that is budgeted, and I do have openings. I do have a significant amount of overtime being paid out right now. And these 3 individuals, I want to bring your names to, and will take care of a lot of those things. The first one, his name is Wade Henderson. He's presently employed as a part-time at Van Buren Township Fire Department, and he's wanted to work some hours for us. He lives here in Ellettsville. The next after that is Heather McLaughlin, who works at Northern Monroe Fire Territory as a part-time firefighter, and she wants to work for us as well. And the other one is Kyle Steerwald, who lives in Monroe County in the northern end of Bean Blossom Township, who's a volunteer firefighter in Paragon, looking to start a career in the fire service. And after doing interviews with all 3 individuals, the board of chief officers are bringing these 3 names for your consideration for part-time: Kyle Steerwald, Heather McLaughlin, and Wade Henderson.
Okay, Mike, I know Wade and Heather, they're very good people, so great candidates. I haven't met Kyle yet. Hopefully we can meet him later. Any council discussion? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Trevor, second. Any council comment? Any public comment? Sandy, roll call.
Dan Swafford,
Yes.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Pamela Samples.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Mike. How are the shifts and stuff? Is this really going to help, or are you still short?
I think we're still going to be a little short, but for the most part, this is going to help out a lot.
Great. All right. Next on the agenda is utility request to purchase a 2019 F-250 4x4 truck. Mike?
Actually, it's Jeff.
Jeff, sorry.
Yeah, we sent in, I think as you know, we give the planning department or sold them for $1 our pickup truck, and we were due to replace that pickup as well. It's well overdue. We have the funds too in our equipment replacement account in both water and sewer to replace that truck. And the lowest bid was Rexford Ford F-250, which also has a service body already on it for that price, so we don't have to do anything for it. It's readily available. A couple of the other trucks were not available yet. They would be 6 months out getting those ready and built. So we would like to purchase the F-250 from Rexford Ford.
Okay. And do these, I think I lost my power. Am I still here?
You're still there.
You're still here.
Okay. Are those state bid? Do we have to go state bid with these, Darla?
I don't think so. I didn't hear your question. I'm sorry. The thunder's starting to roll through here too. So what was your question?
Just if we have to do the state bids on any vehicles purchased like that. Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Just for fire and police.
Yes.
Actually,
well,
sorry. Actually,
yeah.
if you look at the bottom, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
But if you look at the bottom of the price, those are state bid prices. You're getting the municipal pricing on those. I think it's like $11,000 deduct, $11,500. If you look at page, I think it's 5 on Rexford Ford, you'll see where you're getting that discount.
All right, great. I was just curious. Any council discussion? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion for utility to purchase a 2019 F-250 4x4 pickup.
I'll second that. Any council comment? Any public comment? Seeing none, Sandy, roll call.
Dan Swafford,
Yes.
Scott Oldham,
Did we lose Scott?
Scott Oldham. Yeah, his picture is frozen.
Okay, we lost him.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Pamela Samples.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. All right, Jeff. Thanks. Was that truck white? What color are the trucks?
It's white like the rest of the fleet.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
All right. All right, next on the agenda, and I cannot read this at all. So Sandy, can you read me the next agenda?
Compliant for declaratory.
Complaint for declaratory judgment. So this is a suggestion for the council. As you are likely aware, as of the June Plan Commission meeting, the town now owns a right-of-way, has a dedicated right-of-way that's 50 feet wide along the west side of former Lot 15 in Highland Park Estates. It's now Lot 79 in Phase 4 of Centennial Park. And so upon the Plan Commission's decision, that 50-foot right-of-way is now no longer part of the lot. It's the town's right-of-way. As you're also aware, there's been some litigation with regard to the lot and specifically with regard to the right-of-way. I anticipate Highland Park Estates and Deborah Hackman will continue to argue that no road should be placed through there because of the covenants and restrictions in Highland Park. So I drafted a complaint, and it's my idea or thought that this is a good way, hopefully, to get a decision from the court as to what can or should happen with regard to that right away, because my contention would be the covenants and restrictions have been vacated. They don't apply. The town owns the right of way, and the town should be able to allow a developer to put a road through there. So this is my way of asking the court to tell us whether or not the town can do that. And hopefully to avoid future litigation, although as always, I can't promise what my opponents are going to do, but I thought this would be better than just having the road be placed in and then having some issues later. So this is just a thought. But the whole point of a declaratory judgment, and I think we've discussed this before, but it's probably been a couple of years. The whole point of a declaratory judgment is to ask the court's opinion on a writing. It could be a statute, an ordinance, a will, a deed, a contract, and get the court's opinion as to what the legal rights and status of the parties is. So I sent you a draft. It's a long draft. But if you authorize me to file this, I would file it probably this week. It may be slightly different than what I sent to you, but I mean, the essence of it is there. I may just tinker with it and rearrange it a little bit, but so there you go.
All right, any further discussion?
Hey, Sandy or Amber, I think Scott's trying to get back in. If you could let him back into the room.
I just got back, thanks.
Oh, you got him? All right.
Scott, would you like to voice your vote on the pickup truck since you were unavailable?
Yeah, mine would be yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, seeing no further discussion, would someone like to make a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second? Trevor, second. Okay, any council comments, questions? Seeing none, any public comment? Seeing none, Sandy, roll call.
Dan Swafford,
Yes.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Pamela Samples.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, and I am sorry, Sandy, can you tell me what's next on the agenda?
Privilege of the floor.
Okay, now we are opening up the privilege of the floor for any non-agenda items. If you would like to speak, use the raise hand function and I will call your name.
Looks like we lost Dan.
I think we've lost just about everybody.
Is she here? Hello, I'm here. We've had a couple of severe lightning strikes in Ellettsville, so took everybody out.
Got word a tree, the tree by my house may be down.
Oh boy.
We don't even have a quorum to dismiss, do we, Carla or Darla?
Well, if we no longer have a quorum, I think we can just end the meeting and just explain to the public that the weather's causing some reception issues. And so we can't continue. So.
Am I the last one online?
I think so. I think everybody else is gone, including Sandy.
All right. Well, how about I make that announcement then?
Okay.
So members of the public, we no longer have a quorum to meet. We're having severe storms within Ellettsville, and it does not look like we're going to get back on it anytime soon. So all resolutions were voted on, though, correct? So it's just privilege of the floor.
Correct.
All right. So we have to adjourn legally because we can't do anything.
Okay.
Anything else, Darla?
Nope, I don't think so.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.